Welcome back, everybody. Happy New Year. It's now 2020, and hope everybody had a great holiday. Today we're going to go over how to get your models ready for 3D printing. I'm not going to show you how to slice it. There's plenty of other tutorials out there and whatnot, but I'm going to show you how to get your ZBrush model ready to go inside a slicer to where it won't have any problems. Okay, so I have this character here that I've been working on over at Power 62, and this is just one of the many miniatures that I worked on over the past year and a half, 2 years, almost 2 years. Um, but it was composed of probably 2 dozen parts, 2 dozen subtools, uh, probably pushed 20 million polygons. For the example today, I went ahead and decimated and fused some of the models together just for the sake of time so we can get through this and just show you how I go about it. It's not really industry standard or anything. This is just how I had to figure out how to make this work inside a slicer. Um, I currently have a FDM printer, a TAS 6. Um, but for the company, we're actually using the Form 2 to make our prototypes, and then we'll be moving to larger massed SLA printers down the road. So basically, I'm just going to go over quick tips here on how to make this work. So, as you can see here, I've got multiple parts in here. And for most slicers out there, you're going to want to have a fused watertight model. So you can't have all these separate subtools and stuff like that. So today we're going to go ahead and go through that. So what I've found that works pretty well, I use ZBrush for 90% of the work, and then I use Meshmixer from Autodesk, which is a free program. All you got to do is just sign up, and they will take care of you, and you can get the program for free. So what I like to do, so let me solo him, and you can see this is just the body, the arms, which was made up of a bunch of other parts that I've already fused together and decimated it down. Usually I target probably about 800,000 to a million points. Seems to work really well at the size we're going at. So basically what I like to do is, per subtool, after I decimate it down, I will basically check and make sure it is all fused together. So basically load him up. You could do an auto group just to make sure, but usually what I like to do is we'll do select rectangle here. I'll select a portion of it, Control Shift A. This way I can see the whole model. It'll just capture that one shell, and then I'll do a delete hidden, so we're good. So let's go ahead, this one I already prepped, so I'm going to go ahead and merge him down to another part. Him, her, whatever you want to say. So here's where we start fusing everything together. So we'll go to our move. Let me find it real quick. Come up here. I'm going to turn off line real quick. It'd be easier to see. So we'll go ahead and click the gear icon and remesh by union, and it'll take all those solid models there and fuse them together. Cool, right? Alright, so it's fused it together, but sometimes when you do that, there might be some bits and pieces inside that aren't connected to the whole shell. So what I do is I do select rectangle, just pick like a little corner of there, Control Shift A, and it'll bring up the whole shell, and then what I'll do is a delete hidden. Okay, so we're okay. But I also like to do close holes and then fix mesh. And there we go. And then I also like to just repeat the process one more time. Alright, so we're good. If I'm getting that message where it says it requires the mesh to be partially hidden, we're good. So I think we've successfully merged these two together. So now we will go down to, we'll merge down one more layer. And then we'll just do the same operation over and over and over again. It can be a little tedious, especially with dealing with a lot of subtools and having to decimate down. It could be very tedious to put these together. Trust me, it has been. So we'll go ahead and accept that, and then we'll do that process again. And then delete hidden. Okay, as you can see, when I delete hidden that time, there was something inside here that was just like hanging out in the middle of the air, and it got rid of that. So now we'll go ahead and do a close holes and fix mesh. And if you pay attention to these active points, you can see things are happening while we do that. So we're going to do the process one more time. I always like to do it twice. Delete hidden. Okay, so there was something still lingering around in there. Close holes. Fix mesh. Okay. So something's happening. So we're going to do it again. We'll hit delete hidden. Okay, so we're good. We're good on that. So, and of course, I've been doing it with my UI, which you guys can go get on Gumroad. There's a delete hidden, close holes, and a fix mesh, which is mostly in the geometry tab. Delete hidden, and where that fix mesh at? And the close holes is in there, and then you go down to oh, this is why I have that. I don't know where the fixed mesh is. I haven't looked for it for a very long time. So, but you can go over to Gumroad and grab this. It'll make your life so much easier. Then I have flip normals on here. This is like my 3D print get ready tab here. So, all right, moving on. We're going to go ahead and keep on going down. We're going to merge down again, since everything's hunky-dory there. So now we got the legs in there. And we're going to go ahead and remesh by union. Okay, so it says some inputs were invalid. We'll go ahead and take a look at that. We'll do auto group, see what happened. Okay, so the legs were wrong. Okay, so they didn't fuse together correctly. So I'm going to go ahead and, oops, got to get off move there. We're going to go ahead and split hidden real quick. We're going to go mess with those legs because there's something wrong there. Sometimes when you're having issues with merging or remesh by union, this trick works well too. So you can go ahead and Control Shift A, delete hidden, close holes, fix mesh. Do it again, doop, doop, doop. Okay, we should be okay now. Yep, we're okay now. So now I could get the move, go to remesh by union. Oh, blah, blah, blah. I need a new rig. 16 gigs just doesn't work. Okay, so everything should be hunky-dory now. Auto groups, everything's good. We'll accept that. We'll do our quick check real quick. Control Shift A, delete hidden, close, fix, boom. And usually after 2 tries it seems to fix itself. Nope, not this time. I think we're still going to be okay. I'm going to go ahead and merge down because we're going to use another software to help us out here. So let's go ahead and see if it likes us this time. everything's good now. We'll go ahead, accept, Control Shift A, delete, close, fix. Do it one more time. Alright, so it's fixed itself finally. Alright, so we're going to merge down now. We got the pistols in there. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do remesh by union. And all we're really doing, we're just making this thing watertight is all we're going to do. Just one solid mesh is all this whole process is. I know it seems a little tedious. You may not have as many subtools as I do. I've seen people with hundreds of subtools, so it's, yeah. Alright, so I don't know why I did that again, but I got distracted, saw something shiny. Sorry. And it's almost done. Yeah. Make our quick selection here. Control Shift A. We're going to delete hidden, close, fix. Now, if you find yourself having a really stubborn part, I would recommend just dynameshing it and then decimating it back down. That seems to help resolve some issues. So there's lots of little tricks to make all this work. Okay. Looks like we're running into problems where it's not fixing itself, but that's where Meshmixer is going to help us out. This is a pretty complicated model here. Yeah, we're going to continue to have issues. It's not resolving itself. Usually after 2 times it'll resolve itself. That's alright. We're going to go ahead and merge down. We're going to get that last piece put together. Get the rifle in there. Remesh by union. Okay. So I don't think it's going to be able to resolve itself here for us. There's still a little bit of an issue going on in there. But that's okay. That's what we have Meshmixer for. Okay, so we got everything merged together. It's 99% there. The only thing you have to think about now is your scale and your orientation. Because right now, because Zbrush's y-axis is different than other software, you're actually looking at, when you look at it this way, it's actually laying flat. She's laying flat on her back on a print bed. So what you want to do is take the mesh and then just rotate it. Hold down Shift while you do this and just do 90 degrees, okay? If that's the way you want to orientate her. Now she's technically flat on the bed. Now you got to start worrying about your scale. And that's where this wonderful little plugin comes into effect here. It's Scale Master. It's an awesome little plugin. I've used the tar out of it. So basically, let's see what our measurement is in millimeter, okay? And all you have to do is click slider to subtool size. And as you can see, that this character in this Z direction is only 3 millimeters tall. That's itty bitty. So if you've ever tried to take your model into another program and noticed that it was just microscopic, that's why. Because Zbrush likes to keep it at like 1 or 2 millimeter size for it to work correctly. So all the brushes behave correctly. So that's where you run into issues there. So I think if I remember my math right for our miniature width, it's like 48 millimeters wide, and then all I have to do is just hit Resize subtool, click off all, and just hit Resize. Cancel. Resize. Yeah, I might be off on that measurement there. It'll be okay. I got a way to fix it here in a minute. Okay. So with our miniatures that we do, I actually have a pre-made guide for myself. So let me click on that, turn off solo here. Okay, so yeah, I measured it about right. So I've got this little cheat sheet here that I can actually, which is a good habit to have, is to have one of these. Because really all we need, let me turn off perspective. Okay. All we use is just this little top piece right here. This little piece up here is like a size guide to make sure I don't exceed the boundaries, and which I will here. So I'm just going to bring him down. Scale it down so it fits on top of my piece there. Cool. I even have an arrow pointed which way it needs to be forward. I know, kind of funny. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to merge our character to this one. So merge down. And now I can take this little guide off here. Delete hidden. Okay. And let's go ahead and merge to our base here, remesh by union again, and we'll just do our little process there, and then we'll take her over into Meshmixer and do our final fix. Yeah, I know. So let's take a quick look here. Close holes, fix mesh. I'll just do this 2 times. I don't think it's going to resolve itself, and then we'll go into Meshmixer and see where our problems are and see how bad it really is. Okay, I'm going to go ahead, delete, undo history, so I get a little memory back here. Okay, all right, let's go ahead, export. I'm just going to call it demo. Okay, close it down. Demo 3D print. And this is Autodesk Meshmixer. All I have to do is just drag and drop. Okay, and if you use right click, it'll orbit around. Alt, hold down Alt and then right click. You can zoom in and out or scroll mouse wheel. Okay, so that's just a quick overview there. But all we need to do is this Analyze tab. And then click that and click Inspector, and let's see how bad this is. Oh yeah, it's pretty bad. It's not horrible. It could be worse. I've seen worse. So auto repair all. We'll just go by the default here and see if it resolves everything for us. Sometimes it comes straight out of Zbrush, quick and easy. Oh, look at that. It cleaned it all up, except for one little piece there. I'm going to try to zoom in. Try to zoom in here and see where that problem child is. Somewhere in the foot. Oh, wait, here it is. Is this? Oh, it's like an open hole. Huh. Let me see. I changed the. And it hasn't quite fixed it there. But what we could do is actually export. We go desktop. Save it as OBJ again. Save, yes. One thing to notice when it saves, exports out as an OBJ, it'll actually make the file twice as large as it is in Zbrush, which is just really weird. So usually if I have to make a repair in here and export it back out, I'll usually go back into Zbrush, open it up, and export it. That's it. Just reduce the file size. I don't understand why it does that. It just does it. There's nothing wrong with the file, except it bloats it big time. So let's go back, import, demo, open, see if we can fix that. Nope. Trying to use the same controls as Meshmixer. It's not working. There it is. Don't know why. Let me just see if I close hole. There it goes. Okay, fixed. And we'll export it back out. Demo, yes. And let's close you, turn you off, and just replace. Analysis inspector. There, it's all done. Nice and clean. It's ready to go into a slicer. So all you have to do is just export. I'm going to copy that name. Copy. And I always save it as a OBJ as well as a STL binary. Don't save it as ASCII. ASCII makes it like 10 times the file size. Another one of those weird files that just needs to go away. Or the weird formats that just need to go away. And I always like to have the OBJ backup, because for some reason it just seems like STLs seem to have more issues because it was created such a long time ago, and I'm starting to think that STLs are kind of on their way out, that they're going to start going with other formats, but it's so ingrained into the 3D printing community that everybody still uses it. So, but yeah, that is basically it to get it ready to go into a slicer. That file is ready to go. Now, the biggest thing to remember when you put it into certain slicers, say like I use Cura for the Task 6, and the problem with the Cura for some reason has like a limitation on polygons, so you have to reduce this down even more. It only likes about a quarter million points, which is 500,000 polygons. So if you exceed that, it will not like the file at all. It'll just spit it right back out and say, try again. So you just need to kind of figure out what your software can do, your slicer. These files work really well inside Form 2 with very little repairs to them. So I know they work well because I've got my 3D print guy that always sends me a text when something doesn't work. So I know this process works, and I hope it works for you. In the next video, I will show you how to hollow this one out so you can get it ready for a resin printer like Form 2. So we will see you in the next video. I hope you learned something here, and hopefully I didn't ramble on too long. I'm sure I did. and we will catch you in the next video. You guys have a great day.